Hi everyone, so in this video I'm going to show you how to create quickly an outline for your sprite. I'm going to show you how to turn the selection as a brush. I'm going to show you how the dithering tool is working. I'm going to show you how the pixel perfect is working into a sprite, and I'm going to show you how to use the tile mode. If you like that video, give it a thumbs up and don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel, and let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is that I'm going to show you how to create quickly an outline into your sprite. So basically for that you just need to click on Shift O, and then you're going to have this that's going to appear. And basically here you can see that my it already create an outline around my character, and here you can choose the color, whether by the index or by going on RGB. And what you can do as well is that here you have outside, so it add line outside of my already so here you have outside, and what it does is that it creates a line outside my sprite, but you can also add it inside, as you can see. And here it looks very skinny, so it's better if I put it like this. It looks more cute. And so that's basically one way that you have to create an outline very rapidly into a sprite. And notice just one thing is that if you have an animation, it doesn't create that on every animation, so you have to click Shift O every time and just do the same things over and over, right? So that's just something that you have to keep in mind, and that's it. But that's a very useful tool for making an outline quickly in a sprite. The Symmetry Tool for creating some sprite very quickly. So I'm gonna show you where it goes because it's just right here. So basically you click on View. Often it's hidden, at least on Mac it is often hidden, and you go on View, so, and Symmetry option. Click on View, you're gonna see this that appears, and if you click on both, you're gonna see those blue line that appears, and those blue line are the Symmetry tool. Basically, if you draw something here, it's gonna appear here. So I'm gonna show you. So for example, I'm just gonna pick a random color. Let's say this one. I click on G for activating the fill tool that is just right here, and so I filled the sprite. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna click on B, and I'm just gonna start to draw randomly, and you can see that there is those lines that appears everywhere, so I can just use them for creating some shape very quickly. And here you can see that it works quite fine. So now I'm just gonna lower a bit the color here. I'm just gonna click on B to take my brush, put one on the top here, and so I just make some shading, and you can see that it allows you to work super quickly. That's super fine. It's a very great tool, particularly for creating some background and also some characters and stuff, because you can just draw one side and it will just appear on the other side. So it's a super cool tool. So I'm just gonna do it like this. After that, it also has its limitation. Like for example, if you want to draw the shading only on that side and not on this side, you will have to deactivate it. But me, for that example, it's super fine. So I'm just gonna undo this one. So Command Z on Mac or Control Z on PC, and that's it. So this is basically how the Symmetry tool is working. There's nothing else to see about that. But one thing now, something very neat that we can do is, like, if we tap Control A or Command A on Mac, you're gonna select all your sprite, and if you click Control B or Command B on Mac, you turn your selection as a brush. So here you can see that it has changed. And now if I create a new sprite, so I'm gonna go for like something like 480 270. You're gonna see that now I'm gonna use that brush, and I can paint everywhere I want, and it's gonna create my my shape automatically as a brush. And that's very neat to do some pixel art that you can basically with that you can test some idea of pixel art, see how it works, and you can also like use that for creating slopes super easily, super quickly, because you don't have to redesign each pixel one by one. So it's super cool. That's one of the things to keep in mind. Another one things to keep in mind as well is that, so I'm just gonna delete that. So basically what you can do is that you have gradients in Aseprite. Gradients are here in the paint bucket tool. Here you have the paint bucket tool, and here you have the gradient tool. And one of the things that is good with the gradient is that you have that option up there that is no dithering. And if you click on it, you can have like dithering and stuff. So if you click on no dithering, what you can do basically is here on the top, the bottom left corner, sorry, you can select a color. For selecting a color, you just have to click on it, and then if you have it on your palette, you just slide and you select the color you want. And here we're going to do the same, we're going to do that. And now basically what's going to happen is that if I do something, you see like here I can create a gradient just by basically pressing on my screen and then slide it to the top or to the right or whatever. And I don't like basically to have that gradient tool this way because I think it's pretty ugly. And one of the things I like to do basically is just to activate Bayer matrix. And so now basically I can create a dithering tool very quickly, very easily. And this is way much better because if you are creating some pixel art, it's always better to use the dithering, I think, to my own opinion, than some sort of modern gradient, because dithering brings some very good stuff to your art. So like for example, you see you can select this one, you can select this one, you can go on many different way, many different way you can choose this one as well. And the more you expand, the more the dithering is like adding a gradient of the color you picked. And so that's a very useful tool. And you can also have one that is local. So for example, here I can create those kind of things, you know, like I don't know, like for example for creating some sunshine or those kind of things. So this is the dithering, and it's a very interesting tool for pixel art. And another tool that is very good for making pixel art in Sprite is basically the Pixel Perfect tool. So I'm just gonna show you. I'm gonna select that and I'm gonna delete it. I'm gonna also click on B. I'm gonna just go back and take a normal brush, and I'm gonna remove the symmetry here. And so basically when you are making pixel art, you can have, if you don't have the here I have it, so I'm just gonna untick it. So when you're making pixel art, you're making a line like that, you can see that you have a lot of double pixel everywhere that are not super nice. And if you activate pixel art just right here, what you can do is like it's gonna remove those double for you, and it's gonna create a more smoother line that's gonna be way much more nice, pleasing to see to the eyes. So this is one of the best tools, honestly, of Sprite. That's I think that's one of the reasons why I bought Sprite, because just of that tool, because it's so good. It makes you save so much time. That's just crazy. That's honestly crazy. And so basically now we're gonna do the last things. So here I have the tile that I've made before, the sprite, and what I'm gonna do now is basically I'm gonna go on tile mode. And so I just want to see if the tiling looks good. So if you don't know what is the tiling, it's basically the repetition of your sprite. That's a good way to see if your sprite is working for a video game. And so here you can see that when you click on view and you go to tile mode, it's basically on none automatically, but you can also tile in in X axis, and so you're gonna see it on the vertical axis. But you can also have it on the Y axis, and so you're gonna see how it works on vertical axis. But you can also see how it works on both axes. And this is very good because if you are making some modifications, so for example, let's say I want to do this, you know, I want to create some other stuff in this, you know, this kind of stuff. It happens on everywhere in the screen because I've choose to have that set up on both axes, and that's a very neat tool as well to just like see how your pixel art is working. Is very good basically for creating tile set and stuff. That's very a cool thing. So basically that's it for the video. So I hope it has been helpful for you if you're like starting with Aseprite, or if you were like using Sprite for a long time but you didn't know those tricks. So if you like that video, just give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I will make more video like this. And me, I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.